The halls of Columbus Regional were quiet that morning still. The usual bustle of nurses, doctors, and staff going about their day had faded into the background, replaced by an unusual calm. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting long shadows across the sterile walls. But today, there was something different in the air, a heaviness that couldn't be ignored. It was the first organ donation in the hospital's history, the first time they had come together to honor the ultimate gift, the gift of life. And so the honor walk began. In a room down the hall, a family sat in a silence that only grief could cultivate. They had said their goodbyes. The monitors that once pulsed with rhythm, the beeping sounds that had been a constant presence, were now silent. Their loved one, so young, so full of promise, had been taken too soon. The tragic accident had stolen everything from them, leaving a hole so deep that no words could fill. But even in the midst of their sorrow, they made a decision that would send shockwaves through a world that often feels like it has no answers. Their grief became something larger, something more profound than the sadness of the moment. It became a bridge to life for others who might never have had a chance. The doctors came in, and with gentle hands and respectful voices, they prepared for the donation. It was a process that required precision, care, and above all, compassion. Their loved one's body would be the vessel of hope for others, up to 8 others, the doctor said. 8 people who would live because of this act of generosity, this selflessness that transcended tragedy. Outside the room, the hospital staff gathered, forming a quiet procession. The doctors, nurses, and technicians, the ones who had worked tirelessly alongside the family, knew what today meant. To some, it was just part of the job, but for others, it was something more. It was a moment to reflect on the fragility of life, the unexpected turns it can take, and the power of one decision to change everything. A single choice, a single heartbeat. And so, the honor walk began. The family left the room, heads bowed, hands tightly clasped together. They couldn't watch as the procession moved forward, each step a reminder that their loss would forever shape them. But they knew their loved one's spirit would remain. It would live on in the hearts of those who were saved, in the lives that were spared from the clutches of death. The walk moved slowly, reverently. The hospital staff followed in a quiet line, passing through the corridors, carrying with them the weight of the moment. It wasn't just a walk. It was a silent prayer, an unspoken vow to never forget the profound act of giving. They reached the front of the hospital, where the donor would be transported to the surgical team. As they passed the glass doors, the cold morning air seemed to mirror the chill in their hearts. One by one, they paused, heads bowed in silent homage as the stretcher passed through. In the distance, the sun had just begun to rise. Its soft golden light cut through the clouds, casting a warm glow on the hospital grounds. It was as though the world, for just a moment, had decided to hold its breath in reverence. They had saved lives, and in a way, they would live on forever, in the hearts of the strangers who would never even know their name. As the doors closed behind the procession, the world outside continued to turn. But within those walls, there was a pause, a deep, solemn respect for the extraordinary act of selflessness that had just unfolded. One life, up to 8 saved. The impact of that single, quiet decision would ripple through the lives of many, forever changing them. It would be a legacy of compassion, of hope, of love, a love that even death could not take away.